Hi everyone, welcome to the Goenka podcast. This is your host Nober, and to start off our season of this podcast, I invite our honorable dearest guest, who is also our principal, Dr. Rakhi Puri ma'am. So, hello ma'am, how are you?
I'm well, Sanobar. How are you doing?
I'm doing amazing.
Very
so
nice.
this is a very special moment for our school since we are starting something new this time.
Yes.
And just to begin this episode of the podcast, will you please tell our viewers about yourself?
Okay. Well, I'm Dr. Rakhi Puri. As you introduced me, Sanobar, I am basically an engineer. I did my engineering. Then, when my daughter wanted to be in the school, I joined school sector. But when I went into the education sector, I found so much of positivity among students that I felt that this is the right line where I can come in. And then after that, I did MTech IT and then B.Ed, and then my journey in the education sector began. I have started from a very initial steps. Not only as a principal right now, though I am a principal, but I have taught classes 1, 2, class 4 and 5, and I know the footsteps, how students grow, how what all they require while they are growing up, the type of values required for them. So it is a good journey where an engineer has turned up into a principal. So I myself, when I look behind, I just check out, yes, it is a beautiful journey. And then being with students, being with young minds, beautiful minds, is something wonderful in itself.
That was wonderful to hear. We saw how you transitioned into being an engineer, and it was wonderful to hear how you started teaching the earlier classes, the
Yes,
first, and now that you are a principal.
Yeah.
So that journey is very reflective. Now, moving on to the same side of your journey, I have the first question. So, before being a principal, you were a student yourself.
Yes.
So, what is one lesson that, from your own school days you learned that still guides your decision, every decision that you make?
Yes, wonderful question.
Thank you.
When I was a student, I feel that every child wants to be seen, wants to be heard. I really want, all children needs to be motivated, patted. All teachers should listen to their children. This is what one thing is. It is not at all about academics. It is all about validating each child, how they grow, how they respond, and what all curiosity they have in their mind should be taken care of. So I feel when I took a post of a principal, I ensured more than academics, I will only take care of students' dignity and confidence.
That was wonderful to hear. In this current times that we see,
Yeah.
while focusing on academics, students some way, start neglecting their mental health and everything.
Yes.
So while the entire globe seems to be talking about academics, it was great that one of our main member of this institution is, focusing on that aspect of students.
Yes.
So it was wonderful. While some way caring about those, mental health and everything, we also see that spirituality plays a role in everyone's life, let it be a student, a teacher, you
Yes.
yourself, or
Yes.
anyone in the society.
Yes.
So, how would you differentiate spirituality from religion, especially within an educational environment, seeing that we come from a very spiritual, religious country?
Yes. Religion, if you talk about, it is something which is a tradition, a pattern, some rituals. Being a secular school, all schools rather, not only about GT Goenka I talk about, all schools in India, they are all secular schools. And then we never talk about religion. Religion has some aspects which everybody don't, follow that. But spirituality is something very different. Spirituality means self-awareness and full of values. Self-awareness means, yes, we connect to the world, we connect to others, but at the same time, we have to connect to ourselves. There is a life within us. How we feel, our subconscious mind, how our sixth sense work. So everything needs to be taken care of. We always see people, we comment, we judge, but never we comment on ourselves that how we are performing. So I feel that all schools should start practicing spirituality in their schools, because right now it is an age where all students are moving towards AI, right? So once they will be connected to themselves, then their ancient wisdom will bridge AI generation, and then things will be wonderful.
That was beautiful to hear. So, in your answers, we really focused on mindfulness and kindness towards students,
Yes.
which seem to be vanishing away in today's generation.
Somewhere, yes.
Yes, but there's always a good and a bad amongst everyone. So, can qualities like gratitude, mindfulness, kindness, and self-awareness be taught in schools just as effectively as the subjects people think to be noticing more, like mathematics or science?
Yes, definitely. It is something, the first thing that needs to be taught. Because if you will lose somewhere on mathematics or science, you can, move ahead in the life.
Yes.
But gratitude, empathy, and mindfulness, these are life skills. They are not something related to careers, or if I could say, they are related to earning kind of a thing. But these are life skills. One has to, God has blessed us with human life, which is the most superior life. So human life is something where we need to have very, very good humbleness amongst us, and then kindness. This needs to be taken care from very childhood, when child is born. So teachers are actually the role models, and I really want all my teachers to be so much empowered that their meaningful conversations, mindfulness, being in present. Basically, mindfulness is that you have to be in present instead of thinking about something in past or moving ahead in the future. So let us embrace all the children all very well, and then gratitude, feeling of kindness, humble, staying grounded will definitely take all the children to next level.
So, ma'am, that was a wonderful answer. You have a great smile yourself. So, that also provides positivity amongst everyone. While we talked about kindness and empathy for our viewers, what kind of practices can you recommend that, the students, mentors, teachers, and parents can follow to make sure that mindfulness and empathy remains in everyone?
India has a very vast wisdom, very good practices. Initially, when students used to go to Gurukul, if we go back into the ancient times, and then if we, what all we have read in Ramayana, what all we have studied in Gita, it is all said about that one has to control yourself, emotions. It is not about quickly answering back. It is all about responding in a very grateful way. So every question has an answer, but it is not that immediately it has to be given out. So we need to teach our students, our teachers, even our young parents, that responding in a quick way and just putting up their own views, sometimes it is not correct. The only thing which is required right now in this era of GenZ's, I could say, is patience. I know their partners, AI companions, are taking them to a very different level, and they have a lot of energy, lot of curiosity. But at the same time, what we have learned from the history is being patient is something which will take us to a very great heights, and this is what I want from all my Goenkans.
Thank you so much. Now, seems to be the question that every parent or everyone seems to be talking about: comparing generations, comparing educations. How parents seems to be talking that our time used to be better, or today's students are not coping how they used to. So education is constantly evolving. What changes have you witnessed in students over the past few years in your journey itself?
So, academics is almost same. We are all talking about mathematics and science. When
Exactly.
you as a child or a student right now, you talk about sciences. I being a science student, parents also, everybody wants to grow well in academics. But how we will handle that academics? Now, artificial intelligence has taken up the world and is trying to control. But I always want to say to everybody around that natural intelligence is always superior to artificial. Artificial will always remain companion, but what all we have right now in us is lot of energy, lot of wisdom. A small seed,
Yes, ma'am.
we can't even imagine that seed can come out to be a banyan tree who is going to give a lot of shelter. This is what AI cannot do, but yes, a child can do. So child carries a lot of energy in itself, but at the same time, the surroundings, the people, the society, parents, everyone needs to ensure that God has sent a wonderful person on earth and that child needs to be taken care of. So sometimes purpose of life is defeated and then we only come into the vicious cycle of earning and spending and luxurious life. Still
Happens.
we stay uncomfortable and unsatisfied. So my only suggestion to everybody is stay calm, be patient and go with the flow. Things will definitely fall on place, and it falls.
Thank you so much. Yes, we see how, in everyday life, people are very dependent on AI and everything. But whereas AI gives a perfect answer, it cannot replace that emotional intelligence.
Yes.
And how an imperfect answer makes a beautiful answer, right? So, looking forward in the future, ahead of 5 years, how do you envision education amongst youth? Like, how do you think students will be learning their everyday life ahead of 5 years?
So if I talk about next 5 years, I know there is a bombardment of knowledge, and yes, students can access all knowledgeable things from internet, from AI, beautiful answers with wonderful words. Yes, they will definitely get it. But how to put a filter will be
Yes.
taught by teachers. Teachers are very important because they will not only give you the academic answers, but they will also help you to manage your emotions. So experiences and meaningful conversations and discussion about empathy, kindness, and taking care of, as we say, sharing is caring, and all those things. When we teach these type of things to very at the foundational stage, then children grow with I could say they will grow much better. AI is just a companion, but the role models will always be teachers, and nobody can replace a very learned and humble teacher.
Thank you so much. Now, one thing that again follow-ups in every household that we see, the word Gen Z's seems to be very popular amongst parents, especially today. That how Gen Z's are not doing what they could do.
Yes.
And since you stay amongst the children all the time, and how do you think today's child is different from, let's say, a decade or few ago?
Today's children, if I give one word to my children, they are just limitless. They know everything. They always talk about how and why. They have a deep thinking. Then they want correct answers. They don't just satisfy, or they just don't say yes to everybody around on the name of respect. They always want correct answers, and then we should, rather I feel, it is not very easy to handle Gen Z's. Teachers have learned in 20th century skills. They have learned or read from 19th century skill books, and they are teaching 21st century skills. So I feel, students are on the right track. What is required is that we should need to empower teachers, because switching over has to take place from teachers, not from students. So to tap in their energies, we should empower our teachers, what CBSE is also doing, what Goenka head office is also doing, and everybody is trying that all of us should keep a pace. At the same time, our experiences and our thought processes definitely should be transformed, and then character building needs to be there. Character is something that is a legacy that needs to be brought in. Rest, academics and everything is taken care of by so much good writers and professors and everybody around. Yes.
So, to all the parents still thinking that their child isn't coping up like how they used to, just know that your child is different from your time.
Yes.
And they have their own path that they are making. So, again, our generation, my peers seems to have that a lot of energy that they want to,
Yes.
change and shift the world.
Yes.
So that was great to hear. While, they have that power and they want to do all these great changes, they seem to have a wrong approach most of the times. We see that their, language, how their body actions are being performed aren't always accurate to the society they are living in. So in times when society appears to be divided, how can young people engage respectfully within different opinions?
I feel, we need to adjust. We need to have patience. This is again for the not the young generation, of course, to the previous generation also, because students and children of this generation are like this, and this we have to accept. But the only problem which I face with young generation is they are a bit distracted.
Yes.
Yes. And then this is and a thing that they want is complete validation every time. They want praises every time. Once if a child is said that no, this is not correct, then a child doesn't like that. So I feel that acceptance is required at young generation, and
Yes,
at the same time their emotional balance needs to be worked upon. Mental wellness should be taken care of, because pampered बच्चे हैं, and then at the same time they are their all requirements are being fulfilled by their parents, so they don't think that there is a issue where they should be said no at any time. So I feel that these type of distractions, going sitting with the family but connecting to other students on phone, so this needs to be channelized because they have a lot of potential. Lot of work should be given. That is why skill education has come in, just to tap in their energy. So whatever is being done by NEP or CBSE is correct. Acceptance by teachers and students needs to be done very quickly for the same.
Thank you, ma'am. I learned a lot while listening to all those answers, and I believe our listeners also learned a lot of things from it. Now that we are coming to the last segment of this podcast, if this conversation were to be heard by every student 5 years from now, what is one message you would want them to remember in the future?
If you talk about one word, I will say the best word is maintain your spiritual quotient very high. But for coming up for the next 5 years, physical quotient, IQ, which is of course given by God, and emotional quotient, and then spiritual quotient needs to be taken care of very, very religiously. This is what I want to give a message to all the children, because unless you will connect to yourself, you may not be able to connect to the world the way you want to connect. So connect to yourself, meditate, spend some time with yourself, leave behind all the gadgets. AI will always remain with you, and it will of course come up in the coming years. But at the same time, the power of parents and the love and the gratitude towards your parents, which is required, should be taken care of, because what AI cannot give is the love and affection which parents gives to you and your teachers shower on you. So my dear lovely students, always be very grateful for the life you have, for the reasons. Just find out the best purpose, that why you are born, and just follow your dreams. World is waiting for you to rise and shine.
So thank you so much. At the last of this podcast, unless it was our last question, and it has left me with a smiling face throughout the conversation, and I'm sure that every listener also loved your answers and this converse. And it was thank you so much for coming here in our podcast. It was
Thank you,
lovely to
Snober.
have.
Thank you so much for welcoming me so well. And I really want the way you are proceeding, and must give your expertise to all the students also, and then things will definitely work. Definitely
Yeah.
work.
At the end, from the host itself, I would also love to, invite our viewers to converse with us in the future. And at the last of this podcast, keep talking. Keep talking to yourself if there's no one else, because that's the one way you can improve yourself too. So, thank you
Very
so
right.
much, ma'am. Anything at last you would like to say?
Keep doing the good work. World is waiting for you, and there is a lot of potential in everyone. Keep growing and keep smiling. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. So that was it for today's episode. Keep joining us in the future journey, and more episodes would be arriving to your phones very soon. Thank you so much. That was Goenka Podcast, episode 1. This is your host, Noble. Stay with us.